Today, our topic is how to become mentally indestructible with Stoicism. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes it feels like the world is against us. We face problems at work, in relationships, and even within ourselves. It's easy to feel overwhelmed. But what if I told you there's a way to build mental strength that can help you handle anything life throws at you? That's where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to stay calm, focused, and strong, no matter what happens. It's not about ignoring your feelings or pretending everything is fine. About understanding what you can control, accepting what you can't, and finding peace in the process. Let's talk about how you can use Stoic principles to become mentally indestructible. First, let's talk about control. One of the most important ideas in Stoicism is understanding what is within your control and what is not. Many of us waste a lot of energy worrying about things we can't change. For example, you can't control the weather, what other people say or do, or even many of the events that happen in your life. But you can control how you respond to these things. Stoics believe that your power lies in your thoughts, your actions, and your attitudes. If you focus on what you can control, your own behavior, your choices, and your minds, you'll feel more powerful and less stressed. Think about it. If you're stuck in traffic getting angry, want to make the cars move faster. But you can choose to stay calm, listen to music, or use the time to think. This shift in focus can make a huge difference in how you feel. Next, let's talk about acceptance. Life is unpredictable and bad things will happen. Stoicism teaches us to accept this reality instead of fighting it. This doesn't mean you should give up or stop trying to improve your life. It means you should stop expecting everything to go perfectly. When you accept that difficulties are a normal part of life, you become more resilient. For example, if you lose your job, instead of panicking or blaming yourself, you can accept the situation and focus on finding a new opportunity. Stoics call this the practice of Amor Fati, which means love of fate. It's about embracing everything that happens, good or bad, because every experience helps you grow. When you stop resisting reality, you free up energy to deal with the situation effectively. Another key idea in Stoicism is the importance of perspective. How you see a situation determines how it affects you. Two people can face the same problem, but one might see it as a disaster while the other sees it as a challenge. Stoics teach us to look at things objectively without letting emotions cloud our judgment. For example, if someone insults you, instead of getting angry, you can ask yourself, is this person's opinion really important? Does their insult change who I am? Most of the time, the answer is no. By stepping back and looking at the situation logically, you can avoid unnecessary pain. This doesn't mean you should ignore your emotions. Stoics believe emotions are natural, but you shouldn't let them control you. Instead, acknowledge your feelings, understand why you feel that way, and then choose how to respond. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of living in the present moment. Many of us spend too much time worrying about the future or regretting the past. But the truth is, the only moment you have is right now. Stoics believe that by focusing on the present, you can find peace and clarity. For example, if you're working on a project, don't worry about whether it will succeed or fail. Just focus on doing your best in this moment. If you're spending time with loved ones, don't think about what you need to do later. Be fully present and enjoy the time you have. This practice not only reduces stress, but also helps you appreciate life more. Another important Stoic principle is the idea of self-discipline. Stoics believe that true freedom comes from mastering your desires and impulses. In a world full of distractions and temptations, it's easy to lose focus. But if you can train yourself to stay disciplined, you'll be more in control of your life. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier, you might feel tempted to eat junk food. But if you remind yourself of your long-term goals, you can resist the temptation and make a better choice. Self-discipline isn't about punishing yourself or denying yourself pleasure. It's about making choices that align with your values and goals. Over time, this practice builds mental strength and helps you stay focused on what really matters. Stoicism also teaches us to be grateful for what we have. It's easy to focus on what's missing in our lives, but this mindset only leads to dissatisfaction. Instead, Stoics encourage us to appreciate the things we often take for granted, like our health, our relationships, and even the simple pleasures of life. For example, instead of complaining about your job, you can be grateful that you have a way to support yourself. Instead of wishing for more money, you can appreciate the things you already own. Gratitude doesn't mean you should stop striving for improvement, but it helps you find contentment in the present moment. When you practice gratitude, you train your mind to focus on the positive, which makes you more resilient in the face of challenges. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is the concept of Memento Mori, which means remember that you will die. This might sound dark, but it's actually a reminder to live fully and authentically. Knowing that life is short helps us prioritize what's truly important. It reminds us not to waste time on petty arguments, meaningless pursuits, or worrying about things that don't matter. Instead, it encourages us to focus on our values, our relationships, and our goals. When you remember that your time is limited, you're more likely to make the most of every moment. This mindset can help you let go of fear and live with courage and purpose. Finally, Stoicism teaches us to be kind and compassionate. While it's important to focus on your own growth, Stoics believe that we're all connected and that helping others is part of living a good life. When you're kind to others, you not only make the world a better place, but you also strengthen your own character. For example, if someone is rude to you, instead of responding with anger, you can choose to respond with kindness. This doesn't mean you should let people mistreat you, but it means you can rise above negativity and act with integrity. When you practice kindness, you build stronger relationships and create a positive impact on the people around you. So, how can you start applying these Stoic principles in your life? First, take a few minutes each day to reflect on what's within your control and what's not. Write down your thoughts or simply think about it. This practice will help you let go of unnecessary worries and focus on what you can change. Second, practice acceptance by reminding yourself that challenges are a normal part of life. When something goes wrong, instead of resisting it, ask yourself how you can learn from it. Third, work on shifting your perspective. When you face a difficult situation, try to see it as an opportunity for growth rather than a setback. Fourth, focus on the present moment. Whether you're working, spending time with loved ones, or just relaxing, try to be fully present. Fifth, build self-discipline by making small, consistent choices that align with your values. Sixth, practice gratitude by taking time each day to appreciate what you have. Seventh, remember that life is short and use that as motivation to live authentically. And finally, be kind to others and to yourself. Becoming mentally indestructible doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires practice and patience. But if you stick with it, you'll find that you're better equipped to handle whatever life throws at you. You'll feel calmer, more focused, and more in control. You'll be able to face challenges with courage and find peace even in difficult times. Stoicism isn't about becoming emotionless or detached. It's about becoming strong, resilient, and deeply connected to what matters most. So start small, be consistent, and remember that every step you take brings you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. Life will always have its ups and downs, but with Stoicism, you can build the mental strength to navigate it all with grace and confidence.